we talking to?
Talking to JayJ.
Tell us about Love Alive.
Love Alive is my first artist collaborative album, studio album. Not a mix CD, not a remix album, not a single. It's actually all put together music studio album. And it is out. And I really like it. And I'm proud of it. And I hope you like it.
What should fans expect on the album?
Well, I think it has a little bit of everything, in a sense. There's a couple songs that I feel are a little bit sort of R&B influenced, maybe even a tad hip-hop influenced. There's one song that's like country influenced. There's a bunch of songs there's one song that's influenced from like the early days of Naked Music and that like really smoothed out chill sound. And there's a couple songs like that. There's a couple songs that are influenced by like the late 90s mid-acid jazz movement. There's one song that's totally inspired by the group Sweetback. I love them. And utilized that CD on many occasions of touring. And that like tired after the gig feeling the next day before going somewhere else and having a couple hours to chill out, put that CD on, This is a song that's kind of like that. And there's a couple songs that are like straight up from the dance floor, like the stuff that I play all over and enjoy. I think a lot of people will be a little bit surprised in the way that it's. I see it as a very, in a sense, it's almost like a genre mashup. It's not like a song mashup. It's like a genre mashup in that the album is filled with songs that have kind of gritty, dirty bass lines, but it's also filled with songs that just have, cool live bass. It's filled with organic sounds like Wurlitzer and Rhodes, but it's also filled with like tweaked out Prophet 5 sweepy synths from the funk era. So it just sort of like puts together like I said, there's a song that's like kind of country influenced with acoustic guitar strums and live drums, live bass. It's gotten actually pretty hard for me to describe after working on it for so long. And sometimes I'll talk about it in this really negative thing to like a friend of mine and they're like, no, it's not like that. It's actually, different than what you're describing it to me when I hear it, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's something that I really like, and I'm really happy with all the songs on there. And I'm not exactly sure where it fits in today's music. It's warm, it's comforting, it's soulful, it's of course electronic and dance oriented, but at the end of the day, it's not aggressive, it's not minimal, it's very musical. It's very melodic, it's very song-oriented, it's very sensual. There's songs about love and lust and, meeting someone and trying to hook up with someone and everything in between, really. Songs about love and lust, I guess. And so, like I said, I'm not exactly sure where it fits in today's music because of that. But at the end of the day, I think because it took me so long to do it, and that style of the sort of warm, comforting music is what I really grew up on and what I really love, that's kind of how it turned out. I had the opportunity to give a lot of friends and colleagues and DJs advanced listens to gather quotes for the album, and I got a lot of really, really great quotes. And so there's a few. So that was like really encouraging for me, like to hear what people whose music, in many cases, it was people whose music I respect a lot and enjoy and play and listen to, and they were talking highly of it. So that's obviously always cool. But it was interesting the way some people described it. And I wasn't necessarily setting out to do that sort of genre mashup thing where it's like organic, soulful sounds mixed with R&B style love songs mixed with electronic drums and dirty bass line, like stuff that you don't think an electro bass line with a smooth Rhodes and a live guitar doesn't seem to go together, but that's what I wasn't really trying to do that. I just was like pulling from all the different influences through the years. And it's funny how that's the way several people had sort of described some of the songs or some of the vibe of it. They see its influence is not just from what's been happening in the last couple of years in music, but it's influenced the music that came out of me and working on this album was what had influenced me for the last 20 years. And so you hear elements of like funk, P-Funk and Prince kind of stuff and everything from then till now, in a sense. Except there's not really any rock stuff on there.
How long have you been working on the album?
Well, I've been working on it for pretty steady for 2 years, if not longer. There's actually one song on there that literally started in its first incarnation 8 years ago. And the very first Molten Street Studios. It's changed significantly since then, but it was something that had been getting worked on and expanded upon through the years. Most of the stuff has been in the last few years.
Tell us, what is Shifted Music?
Shifted Music is my record label, my company, but what Shifted Music stands for is the fact that when I started it, everything in my life had shifted. I had lived in San Francisco for many years. I was married. So basically, everything got shifted up. And it was when I was talking about the things in my life that my manager and I were talking. At the time, he wasn't my manager. He was just a friend and someone I talked to a lot about stuff. And it was like, I was talking about this, and he was like, yeah, things have shifted up. And I said, that'd be a great name for the label. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. So, I was divorced. I was ready to leave San Francisco. I moved to New York. Just everything got shifted up. And so it came from my personal life and became then relevant to the professional life, in terms of I also utilized that time to do music that was not all that different from what I had done in San Francisco, but certainly the first couple of years of the music in New York was a bit more energetic and had a little bit more oomph to it, in a sense. I did that on purpose. I wanted to be able to play stuff that I could play at 2 a.m. at a club in Barcelona, like Catwalk, that's 2,000 people. A lot of the stuff that I'd done before that, and the smooth and the jazzy and the laid back, would be great on like a Bar Grooves compilation, and certainly San Francisco and LA and even Miami and Cielo, like dope. But I wanted some stuff that could be more fitting to some of my, like the majority of my gigs that were a little bit bigger. The music needed to be a little bigger. So it was just, everything was shifted up.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Well, I guess I want to say thank you for enjoying the music with me. And that's what I truly think it is. We enjoy the same music, and I feel like the fact that I've gotten the opportunity to meet many of you and talk to many of you all over the world, and lots of in Miami, and my travels, and people who I've known for many years, and people who are new friends. The biggest thing that I think about that whole thing is that we are both fans of the same music. And that connection is very different from the way some people approach me and they say, well, I'm a fan of you. And I think, well, I'm just picking my favorite songs and playing them. So I'm obviously a fan of these songs. And if you are too, that means we've got something in common. And that makes me feel good about having met you. Like, it's nice to meet people you have something in common with. And so I guess I just wanted to say I'm really happy that we share the same passion for the same type of music. And I hope that this album, there's something on it for you. My experience has been that there's lots of people have different favorite songs, which I'm totally fine with. I know music is really personal. I hope you find a favorite song on there and can have some enjoyable time listening to it.